We might not get a lot to talk
Also in
about.
attendance, Bessie and Hans.
Bessie and Hans.
Please excuse any interruptions.
So do I need to get over there?
No, you're fine. I've positioned it to you.
So you're going to sit here?
Yeah. She said, let's do it seriously. I said, yeah, with me with a hot water bottle shoved down my pants.
Well, that is really attractive.
Yeah, but nobody will see it.
Well, I'm glad. Let's hope it doesn't burst.
Right.
Drop yourself in, love.
It's a bit weird us
This is
just
just-
relaxing, or should we do it more formal?
Relax.
I don't like being, yeah.
You don't think we should do it more formal?
No.
Why should you do formal?
I don't know. No?
No,
Okay.
we're not formal people, are we? Fucking hell, look.
She's yawning her head
I
off.
know.
Swallow.
Are we boring? Are we boring you, love?
A little bit.
I've got my cushion behind my back.
What time is this going out on Wednesday evening?
Oh, I don't know.
Evening?
Yeah, in the evening, yeah.
Yeah.
Normal time.
Cheers.
Quiet on set.
Action.
Oh, it's different.
Let me just slap you around the face to stop you laughing.
Oh, corpsing. Corpsing.
What's that?
One sec, one sec,
That's
one
what
sec.
it is when people
Is it?
laugh.
Oh,
on
I'll tell you what we need to do before you go home. We've got spare ones. We need to do the face slap challenge.
Here we go.
Here we go.
No, you can piss right off.
It's hilarious. We should do it after.
We've got to do it.
Good evening and welcome to tonight's Q&A. We have guests Ted and Lesa. Hello Ted and Lesa and welcome to Chateau de Montmagny.
Thank you very much. It's nice to
Thank
be.
you. It's lovely to be here.
Welcome to be our own home. In our own home.
We've decided to do this Q&A as lots of people have been asking questions and we just want to clear a few things up and answer all of them all at once rather than replying to every single comment on YouTube. So we've got lots of questions, so we will begin.
Excellent.
Excellent.
Go for it.
Okay, question number 1 is from Chris Brennan, Where the Road Takes Us, and Jane Canada. Have we had much interest in the chateau and have we found anywhere we like?
I think a lot of people keep asking this question, don't they?
They do.
Want to answer this one?
Yes, we have had quite a lot of interest in the chateau. You know, unfortunately, we've had our fair share of tyre kickers. And I think people will understand when I say that. We kind of expected that, but we have had some serious interest. Unfortunately, nothing has materialised as yet, but we are still hopeful, massively hopeful. As for finding somewhere we like, I think I'll hand you over to my wife for that.
Interesting.
We have found somewhere we really like, and it's like 5 minutes over the road. It's not a downsize, that's the only problem. We were looking for a downsize. It is not a downsize, but it is perfect. It's just perfect. So I think that makes it more even frustrating for us, the fact that we've found somewhere we really like. But no offers on this place yet.
No, it affords us, the place affords us everything we've kind of always wanted or realised we wanted by living here. And the fact that we want to live our life and create things that and do all the things that we've loved doing here.
Yeah.
And just continue on that. This place affords us that. However, as Lisa said, we can't do anything until we start to get very serious interest and some offers.
Can I just add to that as well? Because a lot of people keep saying about, whilst we've been doing a lot of viewings, as you know, because you're a patron, and we've been going out viewing a lot of houses, and a lot of people ask why we're not showing that on the vlog. And it's illegal for us to show that on the vlog. You're not allowed to show viewings unless you've actually purchased other people's houses, unless you've purchased the property. However, on a public forum. So as much as we can show our patrons in their private forum, we can't do it to the public. So if you do want to see us going out to viewing all of these places we've been to view and the place that we are very much interested in putting an offer in, then you will have to become a patron, I'm afraid.
Link will be in the description. Okay, next question. Are we going to continue working the piggeries like putting in a kitchen?
Yes, I think the idea is that whatever we can do that doesn't cost a lot of money. Money is an issue at the moment, and subsequently, we'll get to that later on possibly. But I want to be able to. It's almost tidy the place up. There's some. We've done areas that gives an illustration as to what could be done, or what people would like to maybe see. And I think just to tidy the place up and put in things that we will hope to be putting in, that would be the best idea. We can't do exactly what we want to do because that's a lot of money, but we will make it more appealing, hopefully, to buyers. That's the main criteria, is to make it more appealing to people to come and look around.
Yeah. Okay, Nancy McNeil has asked, do we still have paying guests? And if not, why?
So no, we don't still have paying guests, and there's a good reason for that. Because we are selling, the rules or regulations within France are that if we were to sell and we were a running business at the point of sale, it would be classed as us selling the business, and we would be charged 40% tax. Now the reason for that is that the profit that we'd make on it would take us into the 40% income tax bracket. So yes, we'd be charged 40%, which would mean that we'd actually end up being left with absolutely nothing to go and buy anywhere else. So that's why we had to shut this year, so that we could sell it as a property with business potential and that had been previously used as a business. So yeah, that's why we didn't have guests this year.
Okay, another question from Evelyn. Do we get paid for the work we are doing at other people's houses?
So yes, indeed, because we do get paid for the work we do at other people's houses, because that is our business at the moment. First of all, when I first came to France, I registered as a musician and I was going out playing gigs, and that was my income. However, I have subsequently this year changed what they call your SIRIT, which is your business number, and added to that what I do here, really. And now I go out and work for people to get us some extra income. So not extra income, but our income. And subsequently this year, Lesa has done the same. And we now go out as a husband and wife team. We don't advertise at the moment, and we've subsequently got our work through word of mouth, which is marvellous, and thank you very much to all those people that have given us that work. However, we do need to up the stakes in that and get some jobs in the books, as it were.
So if you're the dynamic duo, let them know. Okay, this is a general question that quite a lot of people have asked. If I watch YouTube on a TV, how can I subscribe?
I'm not really sure how you do that. Because
I don't know, because we don't watch it on TV.
No, we don't tend to watch it on TV.
I do. So I'm going to question for him. Sorry to chip in.
Enough, yeah.
So if you press the up button on your remote, I've not got one handed to show you, so you've got up, down, left, right, press up, and it will give you the channel name. If you scroll across, you will see the like button. If you press OK, it will like it. If you press over one more time, it'll go over to the subscribe, and you can subscribe through that.
Fantastic.
Good. There you go.
Do that. I'm going to try it out.
Yeah.
Okay, another question from Tammy Wilson. Was the restaurant and accommodation not profitable enough to continue?
I think we've answered that. It was profitable to the extent. So I think you have to understand that a property of this size, even without running a business, so as we are at the moment, just using it as a property to live in, We have to, our overheads are about just under £2,000 a month. So our income has to be £2,000 a month before anything else. And that's obviously after we've paid our tax cotisation, 22%. So it's a lot of money each month that you've got to make. If we were running the business, those overheads go up to £3,000 a month. So it just gives you a kind of idea of the size of this property, how much you end up paying for overheads and maintenance of just keeping the property going. So your tax foncière, your bin collection, your water, your electricity, your gas, all of those things.
And I think... sorry, love. I think one of the things that we need to make people understand is that it is very, very seasonal in this part of France. So you cannot run the business 12 months of the year, because one, the heating costs would be prohibitively expensive, and that 3,000 that Lesa talked about would be going through the roof because you'd have to heat the rooms all the time. So yes, it is very much a seasonal business. So you've only got a finite amount of time to make that money for the rest of the year.
So when you think the overheads are £3,000 a month, that actually means we've got to make £6,000 a month, because we've got to allocate the amount for the 6 months that we're not open.
Exactly.
Basically. The other thing to make clear is that, so the bed and breakfast and restaurant, so that's profitable in itself. If we wanted to just sit here and run a restaurant and bed and breakfast, we never come to France to run a restaurant and have a bed and breakfast. It wasn't ever in our plans. But the restaurant and bed and breakfast allowed us the income and us to be able to continue the renovations of this place. And it's now got to that point where, as much as it's profitable, like I say, for us to live here and run a B&B and restaurant, it's not profitable enough to give us a big income to be able to go on and renovate the other areas of the chateau that we wanted to do. The other areas, now that we've finished the main chateau building, the other areas are quite expensive for us to now start work on. And without any budget left, as in part of our initial budget is obviously all gone, it doesn't allow us to do that. And that is something that we both very much enjoy and like to do. So as much as the B&B and restaurant, we met some wonderful people, and it was fun.
It was brilliant.
Really hard work. I literally take my hat off to anybody that does it, as well as trying to renovate and work and do other things at the same time. But I
think it's it is one of those situations where it's not in our makeup to do that, and the thing that we love to do is the renovation. And this, even if we ran it as a B&B and it was massively successful, you would never have the time to do the renovation projects that are coming up. You literally would not have the time, because this business doesn't afford us to step away from the clientele. And I think that's the real issue. If we had 4 separate sheets, that could be a situation where you gave somebody the key, they had a week's holiday, and you stepped away and you did what you did. It doesn't work like that, and we know that it doesn't work like that, and it's something that we would not compromise on, is not being able to cater for our guests' needs.
Can I make a point on that?
Of course you can.
As somebody who's seen obviously Ted and Lesa in action running the B&B and a restaurant, Lesa was constantly cooking till 12 o'clock in the evening. Ted was obviously going out doing his music every now and again, but when he wasn't, he was spending a lot of time on his own, and you didn't spend that much quality time together. And I felt that was, I can't think of the right word, but it's not what you wanted, is it?
It's detrimental. We thoroughly enjoy it. One of the things that we do since we've been together and since we've known each other is we thoroughly enjoy being together and thoroughly enjoy working together. And, this is why our little jobs that we've done outside of the business have been enjoyable, because we are working together. I think we work very well together. And I think that was something that was like you said, Charlene, is you saw us not being together, and I think it is detrimental to us as a couple. And I don't think, and I I have a feeling that if we'd have continued, that may have got worse. You know, that separation would probably go, because it would have been a situation that I would go out to work, and Lisa would have been stuck here on her own doing this, that, and the other. As soon as I come home, I'm having to do the stuff that she hasn't had a chance to do because she's been catering for the guests or all this sort of thing. And I know some people had said things like, well, why do you have to have other people work for you? Why can't the two of you do it? Well, because then who does the maintenance? Who does the washing? Who does the cleaning? Who does this and the other? Neither of us would have the opportunity to do all of this stuff. You know, it's an awful lot of work to just do for two people. And ultimately, as Lisa said, it wasn't ever in our plans to do this as a full-time job.
Yeah, not enough hours in the day, is there?
It's not.
No, they're not.
Okay, next question. It's also from Tammy Wilson. Is the second septic tank holding up the progress plan with the restaurant and B&B?
So, sorry, Tammy, if it is indeed you is asking a question. This is, I think it's a little bit of confusion here, so we'll try and iron this one out. We talked about the second septic tank. Now, that really is all it was to do with is the piggeries area.
Yeah.
Because the distance from the piggeries to our current septic is probably 60 or 70 metres. And the pipe work and the logistics of digging that pipe work to that tank are just not viable. You know, it would be a situation, but it would be something I couldn't do. It would we'd have to get somebody in to dig it. And when I think about how much I could possibly put a smaller tank in just for the piggeries and potentially for the old relay, that was a much more viable option, that we'd have its own tank and it would be then a completely separate entity. So that's why, and in answer to your question, absolutely not. It's not holding anything up. The restaurant ran for 3 years very successfully. The B&B, the Chambre d'Hôte, run very successfully for those 3 years with our septic tank that we put in ourselves in the second year.
2021, yeah.
2021. And so that works absolutely fine. And I have to say, I was very proud to say that when the guy came to inspect it because of the house sale, he was very impressed and said absolutely works fine and there's no problems at all. So I think we were very pleased about that.
Very pleased. It conforms, which is very rare in France.
Very conforms. So yeah, in answer to your question, no, it doesn't affect that at all. And it's really just the second one is just for the piggeries and that side of the property.
Okay, next question. I'm not sure who this is off, but it says, if the chateau does not sell, will we think about renting it out for the summer?
It is an option. You know, I think we sort of have to make it clear. At the moment, we have no budget, we have no money, we have no nothing. So we are actually at that stage where, because we have been closed for the entire year, we are a little bit concerned about how we're going to get through till next April. Coming towards, obviously, the winter months, it's quite... I think it's more than likely that we're not going to get many viewings through the winter and not going to get a sale. So I think we've now resigned ourselves to the fact it won't be till next spring that we will possibly end up seeing more viewings or seeing more progress on the place. So we now do have to think about getting through the winter and what we're going to do. Now, obviously, like we've said, we are planning to go out and take on jobs and take on other work. However, we really like working here and there is still a lot of work to do here. So we do have some plans to get us through the winter. And part of that is doing mortaring courses so that will, one, bring us in income, but two, will also do work on the buildings that needs to be done. I would really love to this entire front of this building. There's also
She's a glutton for punishment.
I'd love to do it. I think it would look amazing, and the piggeries still need to be more. So there's lots of mortaring that needs to be done. However, again, it is all down to income and whether we have any spare money on top of being able to afford to actually keep the chateau. We will come to an idea we have perhaps in a little while. Where at the end.
Well, we can run past that. I think to sort of build on what Lesa said, we have to make a decision sometime in the next few months as to what happens going forward. It may well be that we have to suspend our plans at the moment, and we have to look in that direction and bite the bullet and possibly reopen. But then that brings its own issues, reopening. So my feeling at the moment, I'd dearly love to get possibly some regular work, which would afford us the ability to continue what we're doing, but also to continue the work here, because that's really important. Both things are really important. Obviously, you've got to earn money to live, but it's also really important to us that we not only maintain the property but enhance its look.
I think that's the problem. If we was to rent the entire property out, which all sounds really good and sounds quite profitable when you think about renting out a big property like this, the problem then comes is that one, would have to take it off the market completely because you couldn't show people around. Two, we wouldn't be able to work on any of the areas here whilst throughout the entirety of the summer because people would be here. So it means that there's no progress with the estate itself, and that has always been our main concern, is that the estate gets finished in the end, whether it be by us or by future custodians. That has always been our main focus. Yes, we would love it to be us, but it's reality.
Yeah, that's the thing. We have to be practical about it. We have to realise that we don't, and we probably wouldn't have the funds to do what we want to do. We would dearly love to find somebody that has the vision and the deep pockets that enable this place to become what it should be. And we will do our utmost to do what we can do with the facilities we've got at the moment, and yeah, that's it. Sorry, I'm getting a bit emotional.
Are you?
Yeah.
Do you want tissue?
No, I'm just getting a bit emotional because it is so important to us to, hand this property to somebody who will
love it,
love it, and the way that we've loved it, and just carry on. Hopefully, what we've done, what we've achieved, and it breaks my heart that we never got a chance to do the piggeries, because the piggeries was like building my own house, building my house for my wife. And that was the thing, when she was working over here with the guests and everything, like there was me ripping up floors. I know, Charlene, we first pulled out the first floor, didn't we, together, in the first piggery bay.
Put the roof on.
Well, that's it. And then we did all the, we did the cast and helped me take the roof off, and then we put the roof on, and it's just all those things. And for me not to be able to do that will always be a regret, I think, that I couldn't do it. So we need to do what we can do, and we need to find somebody who's going to love this place and do those things.
Yeah, I'm going to win lottery, don't worry.
Do you do lottery, Charlie?
No, I don't.
Buy a flipping
Someone buy me a ticket.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got quite a few questions from Alice Lawless. So we've got quite a few questions from Alice Lawless. Thank you, Alice. So first question, why did we not run the summer kitchen?
Same reason as we didn't open the business. It's part of the business. if we open it, it would come under the 40% tax bracket.
Yeah.
Next question. Do you still see Steve and Joe?
Yes, they come
Indeed
out for
we
a
shall.
barbecue last night.
They did indeed, and it was lovely to see them both. And they've done, let me just say, they've done a fabulous job on their new house.
It's really nice.
It is really, really lovely.
Brilliant.
I sincerely hope that Joe does put together a vlog specifically. I think what she needs to do is do a time lapse of her husband working there for pretty much a whole year, 99% of the time on his own, and it's just incredible what the man's done.
It's really
and he was a
nice.
man possessed and fabulous.
Yeah.
Fabulous. Yeah.
Next question. Will you buy your next property in the same area of France?
Absolutely. We love it here.
We do. We do.
We did. Sorry, do you mind
So,
me saying,
no,
like,
go on.
during looking for properties, we did actually go. We said like we'd go and up to an hour away. And the funny thing is, when we drove to those properties that were an hour away, after about 30 minutes, halfway, it was a bit like we started to get a bit jittery, didn't we?
Yeah, it's a bit of. I know that when we went to visit one with lovely Carol and Kelly from Canada.
Yeah.
Hope you're watching.
Yeah.
It just felt, it was beyond Limoges, and it just felt that we were right out of our comfort zone. This was not where we were supposed to be. We love the area. We love. We've got lots of friends here. We've got a great network of people. We're very familiar with things like La Souterraine. Our community. Sorry, our what's the word? What's the word? I'm not saying communication. Communication. Our travel links and all that sort of thing are fabulous around here. We have the auto route 4 kilometres away, and so
We've got the train station in La Souterraine.
Yeah, the property we just talked about as our preferred property at the moment is literally within 5 minutes, as Lesa said, of this area, and I just love it. I'm so familiar with the area, and I just feel so much like home.
Yeah.
So I don't want to go anywhere.
What kind of visas do you have?
We don't.
We don't have visas because, luckily enough, we moved before and during the Brexit withdrawal agreement. So we were still European citizens when we came. So we applied for residency, and we were granted, thank you very much to the French government, we were granted 5 years residency, which does come up for renewal next year.
Yes.
So we're a little bit nervous about that, but I think, I've had a chat with a few people, and they say it's probably a formality for the likes of you. You pay your taxes, you contribute to society, this, that, and the other. So it's hopefully, fingers crossed, it is a formality, and we might get so we don't have a visa, so we're very lucky in that respect.
Final question from Alice. Will we apply for French citizenship?
Do you know, I would actually really like to apply for French citizenship. Just not yet. When I've got time, it's a really long-winded process. It's extremely difficult. You have to take exams and classes and everything. You have to know the ins and outs. I was going to say of a duck's arse, but
Well, you could say that, love, but yeah.
Shouldn't really say that. You need to know, yeah. So I think, maybe 5 years down the
How
line.
did you pronounce that? Was it canard cuit?
Canard cuit.
Q. No, Q. Canard Q.
But yeah, so
Sounds like a ferry, doesn't it?
I would like to go for citizenship, but yeah, that's a way down the line. But I think it'd be really interesting just to study for it.
Julia Winchmore, will you do some more mortaring workshops?
Absolutely. So that is actually on the plans, that we do some more mortaring workshops. As we said before, brings in a bit of income and also gets some more walls here mortared. So if anyone's interested in coming along to some more workshops, just send us a message.
Lucy, is your knee getting better, and how does it affect work when one of you is poorly?
My knee is getting a lot better. As you can see, I can bend it now. I still can't kneel on it, which is Yeah, rather annoying, but it is getting a lot better. Slowly. However, I have now injured my back, so I actually have a hot water bottle down my pants at the moment on my back.
Too much information.
I'm a little bit concerned about that because it doesn't seem to be healing. But anyway, it does affect, if one of us is ill, it affects greatly, doesn't it?
Well, unfortunately, we had that last year, didn't we? When I had my health problems last year, and it was really, really unpleasant. It puts a lot of strain on that one person because it's just the two of us. There is nobody else. Much as people have said to us before, all these people that apparently we've got running around doing stuff for us. There is just me and Lesa to do it, and yes, a massive strain. The one of the things that it does is, obviously there's only one person to drive a car, and so that's all the driving has to be done by one person, and all that to and froing has to be done, and you can't have that rely. We do rely on each other a lot.
I think the thing is as well is because we've both got jobs that overlap. So, like for example, today you've just plasterboarded the ceiling of the laundry room.
I have.
And my job is to come in and tape and joint it. So you've done your bit, but I now can't do my bit at the moment. So it puts a hold on that entire project until I can get in and do my part of the job. And
that's the thing. There is, not to say that there isn't ability with the other person to do it, but I know my tape and joint is nothing like Lisa's, and it would take me probably twice as long to do that job. So it's counterproductive.
Take 999. What are you laughing at?
Your bottom is sloshing. As you moved, it went bloop, 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 and I was thinking, it's your arse.
My bottom.
Yeah. That's one bad case of diarrhea, isn't it? Nurse.
For some reason the camera overheated.
Yeah, Charlene trumping.
The next question is from Jenny Mortimer. What is your favourite skill you have learned at the chateau?
Ooh.
Is that going to be all right?
Oh no, what happened to that?
I think the elastic band went pa-ding! So shy at it. I bet Dan doesn't have this problem.
So, a GoPro cover has broken. It is held together with elastic band that just pinged off.
Go on, out. Go on, out. Go on. You don't want to go out. What's the matter with you?
Not really, Dad.
It's just pretending.
Do you think they're thinking an Essex accent?
What, the dogs?
Yeah.
What's
When you talk to
She
him.
said, do you think the dog's thinking an Essex accent?
Well, Hans is German, isn't he?
Yeah, his name might be. But he's been brought up as Essex. So when you said...
I wonder where he came from. Which he came from Norfolk, didn't he?
Did he?
He talks all like that. Oh no, Bessie.
Bessie's like, je ne comprends pas.
Yeah, because she's French, yeah.
No, Bessie goes, whatever, man. She's out of her head, isn't she?
Come from a drug
She's charlied up.
Alright, go on, let's...
Go on then, what was this?
Serious again.
The next question is from Jenny Mortimer. What is your favourite skill you have learned at the chateau?
Ooh. I don't know, because there's so many.
It's got to be your boring, isn't it?
My favourite. I do enjoy doing the mortaring. I think it's really rewarding. I've really enjoyed now getting into the rendering and refining that sort of skill. I think that's getting a lot better. I tell you what I think I'm most surprised is my tape and jointing. Like we did Lee's the other day, and
Yeah.
I was really proud of the ceiling because I just thought, oh, it looks great. You know, as much as he'd already tape and jointed, I was only sort of skimming over the top.
Yeah.
It looked really good. Yeah, I think tape and jointing is the thing that surprised me most. That I never could imagine being able to do. What about you? Sorry, was I boring you then?
Yeah, just a little bit. Same enjoying it. I think I really probably weeding.
What? Yeah. You were so serious. I was like,
Gotcha. I don't know. Really, skills wise, you know, I always like framing. I always like doing the framing. Because it's so, you know, you do all ripping the guts out of everywhere, you do your demolition work, which is always something we tend to do together, which is a bit of fun, isn't it? We always try and have a bit of fun doing that. And then banging the walls up and defining the rooms and all that. And I've
rebuilding.
I've built bathrooms out of nothing. And I think that's one of the things that I'm kind of proud of. But yeah, skills wise, you know, I think it's ongoing for me because the more I do, the better I feel I get with just my woodworking, and that's something really, really special to me and really important. So I think it's just an ongoing situation that, I'm enjoying that, still enjoying it, still loving it.
Next question is from Carol Smith. Obviously, we are really busy, but when you do get some downtime, what do you like to do?
I like to play a bit of guitar. You do marvelous things with bits of with when you're crafting and all that sort of thing, and you've got this concrete idea, but this is the thing, we tend to start to do things that, you know, maybe in a bit of downtime that we've got when we haven't got specific jobs on, but they evolve into things we think, oh, we might be able to make a bit of money out of this, and going forward, I think that's what we'd really like to do, as opposed to make stuff, you know, because we've always had this creative thing. We've always made stuff. We've always tried to upcycle. We've always tried to do that. And I think that for me is where I just see our future.
Yeah.
Lois Carter, question for Charlene.
Oh.
You have now been back to the chateau for a few years. Why do you like going back, and what is it really like working with Ted and Lesa? So I've always been a volunteer. I love helping people. Obviously, I don't know if everybody knows that I run a volunteer group where I live. So coming out here to see Ted and Lesa is quite normal for me. However, they treat me like family. So when I first came out, I was going through a bit of a rocky period, wasn't I? And it gave me something to look forward to. So these two have been a bit of a lifeline for me. Yeah. You're quite cute.
That's really nice.
I think what the nicest, can I just say what I think the nicest thing is as you all know, we only really have 2 volunteers that come out regularly, and that's Charlene and Carsten. And the nicest thing is when they do come out, it is just like a member of the family's coming out. And, you know, Charlene just gets up in the morning, makes a breakfast, you know, makes a cup of tea, and if she wants something to eat at lunchtime, she just makes herself some lunch and then just clear. And it's just like...
they're very little maintenance, aren't they?
Yeah, and it's just like, this is your home, isn't it? It's just it's a bit like, you know, your kids have come home for the weekend from uni or something.
You can't wait for them to get rid of them. No, I'm only joking.
No, but it is relaxing.
Yeah, it is a proper atmosphere.
I think the first time you came, I think none of us kind of really knew how it was going to work, did we? And like you said, you was going through a rocky patch, and I'd like to think we was there to support you through that. And what's been lovely for us is to see you turn your life around and like be really happy and just it's nice just to get to know each other.
They are really sweet. They are really sweet. No, but on a serious note, they have been a lifeline for me, and having something to look forward to when you're going through something. I'll not go into details, but having that to look forward to and having the support of two people you'd never met before is quite massive.
Would have never met.
And would have never
Yeah.
met, but for
Our
YouTube.
lives would have probably never ever crossed because we lived at other ends of the country, and now obviously we live 700 miles away from each other. But yeah, and I think just to follow on from that, I love having you here. It's brilliant. It is like having family. It's not like having guests. It's not like having that. It just is like having just.
We don't have to put on any airs and graces.
No,
we don't have to.
You don't have to do any of that. And it is lovely in that respect. So, wherever we go and whatever we do, you are so welcome. Anytime.
Somewhere.
It did. I did sound like I was.
Charlene's going, well, you're stuck with me anyway.
It did sound like I was going to burst into a chorus of. But I assure you, I'm not going to do that to you people.
Me either. Next question. Peter Bryant, will you be going back on the TV?
I think we've said this before, and I will say it again. Never say never.
Let's leave it at that.
I think that's the way to put it. Never say never.
Next question.
Oh, there's more.
Yeah. Without the restaurant and B&B income, do you have any other plans for the future until the chateau sells?
Well,
I think we've answered that. The idea is to do the workshops, for us to try and get more work out and about, and with whatever we can, do as much work here as we can. Because I think actually, since we've started the work on the barn and getting the laundry room finished, things like that, I think we've really enjoyed it, haven't we, this year?
I think, it really feels like we went back to what we were doing before.
Yeah.
We had the interlude, when it wasn't really an interlude, it was, running the business. And, that had its own ups and downs and challenges and rewards. But the thing we love to do is create things. And I've thoroughly enjoyed having to work out how to put a ceiling in a place that shouldn't really have a ceiling. And I think the evolution of that barn from what it was unusable to what it is going to become.
Yeah.
I think that's really exciting.
Yeah.
And I think, if we do have the facility to open up those areas that we can put maybe some windows in there, and we can do that. We can, I can refurb the doors, as long as we can do it within our means. And that means going out to work. And I've got no problem going out to work. I enjoy doing that. And what I love is the fact that I've, tried to hone or tried to, these skills, and to take them out and hopefully make other people's houses
beautiful as well.
Well, yeah, and it's good fun. It's good fun for that.
The last question is from a very suspicious name, Doris Day. And please don't hate me for this, but I'm not sure that's your real name, Doris. However, the question is, when you move, will you continue with the YouTube channel?
I think so. I think as much as I have to say it is hard work. It takes a lot of hours. I don't know whether people actually appreciate how many hours it takes. But it is also enjoyable. And I just think we get so many lovely comments. And we have so many of you that have been here with us from the start.
Yeah.
And it would be a real shame. I just think it would be a real shame. And, if we do eventually get the property we want, I think you would be very excited about it. I would like to think that as long as you want us, we will be here on YouTube.
I think, Lesa does herself a disservice. She does put her heart and soul into these videos, and I think she does herself a disservice by the fact that I know it is a lot of work, but you do enjoy it, because you wouldn't do the job you did unless you put a little piece of you into all of them, and you come out and you know, your drone shots and this, that, and the other, and the way you put stuff together, and your little shots through the trees. He loves a little shot through the trees. But it's you know, it's a creation. It's creating, and I think you do. You know, it might be subconsciously enjoy what you're doing because you're thinking, oh, you know, because of what you don't like, and I think that's one of the things that we've come out of all of this is that we are a bit fed up with deadlines.
Yeah.
Deadlines, you know, it's all good to have a goal. It's always good to have an end point. But when you are up against it, and that's throughout the time we've been here, it feels like, you know, it's a continual saga of deadlines.
Yeah.
It becomes, you suddenly feel that you said that I'm not doing my best work here.
Yeah.
I'm not doing my, because I'm being pushed into things that I don't want to do. And you know, it's good in a lot of ways because it gets you done, it gets you finished and all that sort of thing. But I think the absence of deadlines will be something we will embrace.
Yes. Yes. And that allows you to enjoy what you're doing even more.
Exactly.
Is that it?
That concludes tonight's Q&A. Thank you for watching. Please remember to like, subscribe, share, hype. Don't forget to click that hype button.
I think if you got to the end of this, we commend you
Yeah.
for your stamina.
And
Because it's been a while.
a huge thank you to Charlene.
Huge thank you, Charlene.
Charlene's with us for a few more days and then it's
Hey.
off back home. You'll be
Back to
sorely
Brighton.
missed. But thank you all for joining us. Don't forget, like, subscribe, everything that Charlene said, and we will see you again.
Curly
on
Whirly, thank you for my
Friday.
shirt. I'm
yeah.
wearing my shirt.
I haven't got mine on because I've got my pyjamas on.
Yeah, because she's always wearing her pyjamas at the moment because she's crook.
Crook.
She's cooked.
Thank you for my shirt.
Anyway, speak to us soon. See you. Take care.
Bye.